frames 0. Okie dokie. So that works. Switching the monitor off to keep you from playing around there. Right? That's not viewer friendly when I sit here. You know? It's not viewer friendly. So, you guys, let me scoopy poopy and clean up, and then we can cuddle. Huh? Okay? Come on. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Up. And ding, 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 ding. Up. And ding, 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 ding. Up. Mira, come on, let me do my thing. I have to go do my work, okay? Before we can go to the just nice stuff. Oops. Hello. What? You brr. Everyone's like, we want cuddles now. I know, guys, but I have to do a bit of cleanup. You've trashed so much litter around. So we have to do a bit of cleaning. For example, in the tunnel. See? Already better. So. I'm just running around a bit with my other device. And around the litter box. Definitely going to use the north room first. Get those gyrations. More, please. Thank you. Not perfect, but better. Obviously, I forgot your water, guys. Your water is downstairs. I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. Yes. But we're in. Ja. Wasser. Bitteschön. Ja. So, now, sit down. Oi. Hey, she sits down for some head office learning call. If they've forgotten me. Look at those guys here. They're always like, lap, plop. Huh? Hadari and Joran, you two are always directly there. Hi CFP and Gabi and Louise and lurkers. Please all hit the button, and if you haven't done it yet, please watch the video of Mr. Streusel being all growly hissy with the leather dancer, and don't forget to also there, would really appreciate that. Share the live stream or the channel. Please help me out. I'm losing subscriptions again. It's not that people are actually clicking on unsubscribe. I don't think so. It's just that YouTube thinks, oh, person X hasn't visited that channel since. I'm sorry. For a month or two, so they are not interested anymore. So we will unsubscribe for you, because that's something that YouTube does. Just like Facebook. You know, if you don't visit my page for a while, Facebook will unsubscribe you. Hi, Viola. Mm. Mm. Hello. Hi, Zoe. You were such ferocious feral kittens, huh? I'm too scared to move because they could get after me, go after me, you know? Yeah, growling, hissing, biting, scratching, spitting, killing me with cuteness. I mean, look at them. I think they are the best, you know, argument for those people who think that you are not able to socialize kittens over the age of 8 weeks, you know, feral kittens, that you are not able to socialize them to a point that they would be adoptable. And yes, there are sadly still people out there who think that. Rescue people. And then look at them. I mean, this guy here, this tuxedo guy, for example, he hated me with a passion at the beginning. He was really, he don't wanted to do anything with me. Also here, Miss Lightning also had no interest at all in me, and she was worse than Mr. Tuxedo. And there is Mr. Thunderbolt, my pride and joy, because he was thinking that the evil human has to be spit at and growled at and hissed at and even get beaten when she dares to show up and when she dares to offer him a treat. And now look at him. Right? There you are. You gave me some bloody hands in between. Huh? Until you started to pull your claws in when you when you was beating the crap out of me. Yeah. So then it became a bit nicer to get in beaten by him. Right? Mhm. Yes. So, I know that, let's say it that way. There are ages in kittens where several development things in terms of social skills happening just with humans. This is the typical time that this and that happens. And where this learning of this specific social skill is kind of um, coming to an end. And 8 weeks is that age where the social part, um, you know, trustful social interaction, um, and it doesn't matter if between cats or cat and human, um, till this age, this pretty much happens. But that doesn't mean that they can't learn afterwards. It might be that some might still have some trust issues later in life with humans because they've been socialized after the age of 8 weeks. There is not this basic trust that is really deep embedded in them. But that doesn't mean that you can't socialize them anymore. And on the other way around, it's like I know that in certain countries like the US, for example, they have a huge problem with the cat overpopulation and putting down cats and kittens in the shelter system. Um, and they try to adopt kittens out as early as possible because they seem to be more adoptable than because people want kittens as early as possible. And they want them as young as possible. And the thing is, they adopt them out at the age of 8 weeks because they say their social skills are developed until then. And that's not true. All the researchers will tell you that this is not true because after the age of 8 weeks, they develop so many more social skills, which they learn from their mom and their siblings, of course. And this is, for example, the playing nicely with each other, which starts usually at the age of 4 or 5 weeks when they really start to rumble with each other, and then you hear all that squeaking between the kittens. When you have such a young litter of kittens, then you hear that there is a lot of squeaking going on because they have to figure out how hard they can bite without hurting the other one. um, the whole cat language thing, apart from the typical kitten language. For example, these poofy tail crab walking that we all love to watch. You don't see that very often in adult cats or older kittens because this kind of behavior is usually just because of making themselves look bigger than they are and more impressive than they are because they're scared as crap and try to appear um, bigger and more dangerous to the thing that scares them, um, to scare the other one away. You don't see that very often in adult cats. They really use it only because when they have to, when it's about survival, and are really threatened by something or someone. I mean, kittens do this all the time. And Fussel, for example, she still uses this kind of body language that she was used to as a kitten because she hasn't grown up with other kittens because she was a bottle kitten. And my adult cats, they don't understand her language because they don't talk kitten anymore. And that's a problem. And these would have been things that she would have learned from her mom and her siblings at the age of 10, 12, 14 weeks. So, but the socializing part, I mean, look at them. Hmm? Oh, Zoe, I hope your back, hoped your back would get better from the walking, didn't it? Hasn't it? That was not me, Thunderbolt. That was the evil, evil Duffing. You, evil Duffing is evil. Hmm? You will slip off my knee, Miss Samira. You. I really like the character of Thunderbolt. He's so, is mellow the right word? He is always politely asking for scritches. He's not like jumping onto you to get your lap and scritches. He's always like, can I? Is mellow the right word for that? He's so gentle. Mm-hmm. I think the socialization of adults would be faster, would work faster if I would do the same with them as I did with these guys here or with the opera kittens, put them in a playpen. But who really wants to do that to an adult cat, you know? I mean, yeah, it's a difference, I think, between, um, I don't know if Viola is still watching. There's one foster who likes to grab the kittens with gloves and force cuddle them and thinks that's the right method to socialize them. Um, that's breaking for me because you're forcing yourself completely onto them and they have no chance to realize by themselves that the human is nice. You know, you bring them into a more scary situation by grabbing them with your gloves and they are fighting you, and you expect them to enjoy that interaction. You know, that's breaking. It's just like taking a horse, um, bond their legs together, put a saddle on and a bridle on, and then let them buck it off. That's not educating a horse into a riding horse. This is breaking their will. Um, it's a different thing when I have a 4 weeks old kitten. You know, I mean, I use the blanket too, mainly for giving meds. But of course, I use this moment where I have them also to give them some scritches. And sometimes you are lucky that you hit the right spot, that they are a bit itchy in the ears because they are still dealing with some dirt and ear mines and stuff. You know, they are just itchy. And you scratch their ears and they are leaning into it and actually enjoying it because someone is scratching the ears, and it feels good. And for some it's enough to say, okay, that person might be not that bad, you know, and it could be a first step. With kittens of the age of, let's say, 4 weeks, I just grab them and scratch them because it takes a minute, and then they are purring and everything is fine, usually. Just trying to remember if I had kittens where this didn't work. Um, of that age, I think it was Berlioz and Abby of the Aristoflus, where this didn't work, where I just had to work a bit harder to gain their trust than just grabbing and scratching them for a moment, but it worked for the other four. Um, but that's not breaking for me. You know, it's not grabbing them every day with a towel and a glove or gloves and, you know, forcing them into that contact. In the playpen, I kind of force myself onto them too, but they are still in arm distance. They still have somehow a bit of release from me when I take my hand away. They still can move around, even though they can't get away completely from me. You know, what I will not do anymore is taking this room here, put a bunch of feral kittens in it that have never been handled before, and hope that time will help me socialize with them. Yes, with a lot of time, I will get them around at some point. But if I can speed this up by putting them into a playpen, and making a 6 months task, turning this into a 1 month task. By just using the playpens, then I do that because it's worth it, and they would spend only a short amount of time of their life in the playpens. But I would not grab them with gloves and you know, chase them around in a room to grab them and scare the crap out of them to force cuddles onto them. I think that's completely unnecessary, and it's also counterproductive. I mean, first you scare the crap out of them, and then you expect that they enjoy your cuddles. You know, that there is no logic behind that. I have gotten some mean comments about playpens, or back then cages. Cages are just not that practical because we can't sit down with them in the cage. Even though I would like them a bit more because they are a bit easier to clean, and you know, the kittens can't scratch them open to escape. There are no zippers that they can open. But you know, you can't sit down in a cage with them, so the playpens are the best solution. And I have gotten some mean comments about that, especially from Germans, because the German people, I know from what place they come from because I am German. And I think before I started fostering myself, I would also see this as cruel to lock them up in such a small space. But it's only for a short amount of time. It changes the whole life. It changes them from scared, hissy, spitty, hating humans or being scared of humans into this here, right? And then they will have all freedom that we can provide them, and they will find a wonderful, loving home. So I think that's a small price to pay for them, for a pampered life in a home on a couch with veterinary care, food every day, treats and toys, you know. Right? You guys are so cute. Goodness me. Yeah, I made this mistake too at the beginning. I put them out in the big room, and then, you know, either I was somehow able to get them, you know, with treats to be able to squish them before they run off again, or not. And that's why Rebo and Adorabelle, for example, never been socialized. That's why they still live as feral cats. That's the truth behind that. If I would have put them into a cage or into a playpen and working there with them until they've trusted me enough, and you know that I release them out of the playpen already, they don't have to be like this completely. They have to come forward to me. They want scritches. They trust me enough. And then they can go into the big room. They don't have to be full blow screechy already then, you know. Because everything else you can do when they are in the room. But they should have enough trust. Is that wet or is that just feeling weird? Has someone of you peed on it? I really wonder if there's someone who pees on the beds. I will take it with me just in case and wash it. Yeah, the problem is I don't know if they are safe because directly next to that barn there is a river, and I know that this part has been flooded in the big floods last month. So I'm not sure if they're okay. He knows we'll find it at some point. Well, at least my sister-in-law said that mice, when they rot away, do not stink as much as a rat. When she moved out of one of her apartments, when she had her elderly cat back then, she rolled up a runner, and there was a flat skeleton of a mouse underneath. She never noticed it. Yeah, you might find a mouse mummy one day somewhere behind a cupboard or something. Ah. I mean, we found a few dried mouse or mice in our basement already because when Fuzzle brings them in and they are still alive, of course I tried to catch them to release them. And sometimes they're just so stupid. There is a slit underneath our stair, and from there they get into the basement. And it seems they don't find a way out anymore because they fall into the basement there. There is nothing where they could walk on. So if they get underneath that stair through that slit, they fall into the basement. And most of them doesn't seem to find a way out of the basement anymore. So sometimes we find dead mice there that are just right. Mummification. You should see Johan's face. Oh, full of bliss. His mouth half open. Oh my goodness, guys, he was so cute. So guys, my left foot is dying off. I'm very sorry, I have to do some laundry to that you guys get something comfy to sleep on again. And I can bring in later. Oh goodness. Hoi! So, ding, 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 ding. Someone should do that with me. Probably my vertebrae would align. Bing, 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 bing. Then again, probably hearing some cracking noise then from my vertebrae. Ding, 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 ding. Aua. Oh, my left is kind of dead. I have no feeling in it. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Oh, you need food, guys, right? Ouch. Need to be careful that my knee doesn't collapse. I try to walk on it. Oh, the blood flow. The blood flow into my leg and my feet. That hurts. Ouch, 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 ouch. So what do you think, kittens? What do we have here? It's turkey with chicken and shrimps. Oh my goodness. No one should tell me that I do not pamper you guys. Yes, I'll read it with some sunflower. Because I'm a mean human and I hate you all, kittens. That's why I do it. For no other reason than that. Yeah. flower. So you and some electrolytes for you. Let's mix that in there. And some 40 flora. Here. And some more 40 flora. Because there are so many kittens. We need more than one sachet. And then we mix that in. Yeah. I know you're hungry. Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Your afternoon snack is served. You are welcome. So this will go into the washer. Yes, what would Chef Ramsay say about this? So see you later.